Setting up chapters, huh? Well, with a bundle of both despair and hope. But please, Oda, whatever you're gonna do to Sanji, do not let him be defeated! Whatever you're planning on doing with Sanji, this is totally his shtick about only gathering the ladies, but whatever who is going to him right now, please don't let him get defeated. You have humiliated Sanji enough as it is. Although we do see one very familiar face in this chapter, and to tell you the truth, I did not see that guy until I reread this chapter 3 times. So yeah, this is the One Piece chapter 926. I am the Angry and Offended Despair reviewer, and here is the summary of it all. First of all, the newspaper in the flower capital is going around. Apparently something about a ghost that is haunting them all. We're also introduced to the name of Kamuso the Manslayer. Apparently a guy who's wielding a scythe going around killing people in the 8th street. His name almost sounds similar to Kawamatsu, who was one of the people that Kimon wanted to recruit for the war against Kaido and Orochi, although it's not exactly known if they are the same. I think one of the silhouettes did have a ponytail, and the photo of Kamuso does show a ponytail. So it's not exactly known though what Kamuso is killing, if he's killing everyone or is just killing the rich. I mean, granted, however, the flower capital does seem like an extremely corrupted place, so maybe so many good kind people doesn't exist there. But hey, Shotenmaru became a bandit again, so if Kawamatsu has become a murderer, that doesn't sound so far-fetched. I have a feeling all 3 retainers were loyal to Oden, yes, but not to his clan, because after all, they were criminals. Either way, and there's something about a bewitching hour boy that steals from money and gives to the poor. That sounds a lot like Robin Hood. We see Usopp this chapter, who actually managed to see the symbol that they are allies of Kosuke, and each gives him a note. We also see that Trafalgar Law's crew members, including Beppo and Penguin Sashi, does the same. So yeah, the Kosuke clan does have allies after all. And we also see so many who is very eager to fight. However, it's revealed something very strange here. Apparently that only samurais are allowed to carry weapons in this country now. And given to the fact that we only seen samurais having weapons, that makes sense. However, Orochi has even forbid kendo arts and karate dojos to have these kind of weapons. So, I mean, yeah, he is quite the paranoid guy. But Usopp is actually the one who is selling swords out. Then we're switching to a scene of corrupted officials who's mentioning something about a shipment order and planning to start a war. It seems though that actually that while Orochi is allied with the Beast Pirates, of course, and they all do the cruelty things, and as well as Orochi's all corrupted individuals, it does seem that they are also just doing the job that they are told to, because, or at least one guy is saying our job is to make what they ask for. Granted, however, that doesn't make them any less immoral, but you know what I mean. Nami and Shinobi is watching over that, but because Nami is a novice ninja, they immediately find out. And Shinobi, well, she is actually quite a loud person for someone who's a ninja, and it's only Nami who does show some moments, but they manage to escape. As Nami mentions that she saw a name and a day of the ship is leaving, and there's weapons. Probably they're gonna take that to do it. Elsewhere, Sanji has become popular, especially with the ladies, because, well, let's just face it, he is only ever going to serve to the ladies. His name is Sangoro, I think. Of course, Nami is not happy that he's only gathering the females while completely ignoring the fact that he's supposed to gather the allied samurais. However, we see a silhouette of someone who's saying, does he have any idea who this island belongs to? So I mean, I'm just saying, is that an Orochi individual, or is that someone else? Because if that is an Orochi individual, please don't make Sanji lose in a fight again. It's bad enough that he has to be always sidetracked, not like do all that stuff. Or is it possible that is an Oden ally? It's just that he believes that Sanji is disrespecting everything, the fact that he is just serving the ladies or something like that. Well, either way, that is just fitting for Sanji's character to do that. It's a little bit annoying, but it's also extremely fitting. So whoever that shadow guy is, we don't know. Back on the factory in the prisoner mines, the people are forced to work and overworking. I mean, it's very cruel what the Beast Pirate does to all the different people. However, the only two that has actually managed to do work beyond everything else, that is Luffy and Kitto. Oh yeah, and it's revealed that Kitto's artificial arm really is removed from his body. Apparently revealing that the artificial arm that Queen had was not his own. It was Kit's, meaning that Queen probably doesn't have an artificial arm, but he stole Kit's arm and is probably trying to modify itself. Although he could very well not have an artificial arm, it's just that he took Kit's and is modifying it to suit his own. Either way, he removed Kit's artificial arm. It's of course a good reason why he did that. I mean, Kitto's power reflects most in his artificial arm, probably. Still, I wonder if if Queen is thinking of if he's thinking of upgrading it, then he's being a very stupid guy. So yeah, Luffy and Kitto, they are carrying so many rocks, about 500. And I have to say that I'm pretty glad that Kaido is so stupid right now. Because despite the fact that Kitto and Luffy have sea stone cuffs on them, they can still carry this much. Do you not understand what that means? They are training in a way. Despite all this torture, they are training very well. I'm still salted the fact that Luffy couldn't even put a dent on Kaido. However, this does show that Luffy is not the man who's gonna be broken down. And it's revealed that he and Kitto, well, they have become quite the rivals. And Luffy, they're arguing it against each other, and Luffy has decided to call Kitto Jagged Guy. So yeah, their spirits are not going to break anytime soon. We're also introduced to another headliner, and let me just tell you, that headliner is disgusting looking. I mean, these smile fruits are so weird. This guy's name is Dobon, and he's a hippo smile user. The only thing is, how do I even say this so it can be described? He has a whole hippo manifested from his back. Well, not his back, but his legs is one, and the over top of it all is a hippo head and a hippo body. I know, it's very difficult to describe, but basically it's completely different from the lion Smiley, which only had a lion head and a lion tail. No, this guy has a complete hippo body, except maybe the legs stretching out from behind him. And just like the lion guy Hold'em, this hippo seems to have a habit of closing his mouth, meaning that he doesn't really get along with the Dobon user. But it does also show that this hippo has complete sentience. So when the deputy warden hears about the fact that they have eaten up a lot of things and Luffy and Kid gain much weight, of course he's furious, seeming that he wants all food. And it's during this time we see a familiar face. It's Karibo. Yeah, I was really hoping that guy had been killed by Drake, but unfortunately not. He is still alive and is still annoying. So, is it possible that he's gonna be forced to join the alliance? Very likely. I mean, Karibo has a Logia, but he's useless in a fighting. Besides that, the only thing is, Karibo knows what Shirahoshi is. I thought for sure he would have sold out that information in exchange for being saved. But is it possible that X-Drake just took that information and threw him in jail regardless? I mean, Karibo is a guy who's out to save himself. It would have surprised me if he didn't just suddenly scream out in the prison, "Hey, do you know where the ancient weapon is? I know about that," all to save his own skin. But for some strange reason, he is in prison. Well, granted, it's knowing why he is in prison. But it's not revealed yet. Has he been blabbing out? Or has he not? I wonder. We can also see the shadowy guy who is watching Kito and Luffy. And the Beast Fighters arrogantly say that no one is supposed to fight back against a guard because their arms will be cut off and legs be cut off and they will be executed. So, but Kito and Luffy is just pointing out they're just weaklings that have their strength depleted. So they're just working seriously. So Dobon is trapping them in his mouth. I don't really know how that works, given the fact that a hippo is stretching out, but it is what it is. Then suddenly the hippo streams out steam and it gets knocked out as Luffy and Kito walks out there without any damage, as they also hold the old man that marks it all. As the Beast Pirates just say that they're gonna be executed, Kito and Luffy just simply said, well, Kito is the one who says that, "Where's your proof?" They said that if you fight back against the warden, then you will be punished. And technically they didn't fight back because the guy trapped them in their mouth and then suddenly the hippo fell over. So technically they didn't fight back because no one saw them fight back. It's that kind of logic. Of course, the prisoners are happy to see Kito and Luffy. And here's the strange thing is, Kito is actually smiling when the prisoners is cheering them on. Luffy is not. I mean, Kito is a guy whose morality we still don't really know of yet. Very likely a more evil version of Luffy. But why is he the one who is smiling? I mean, he is definitely not looking out to save the other prisoners, unlike Luffy, so I don't really know. But yeah, a setup chapter. But that Karibo scene, that required a very nice thinking because he didn't say anything. He just had a very small panel, but he was there. What has he been doing? And who are these mysterious samurai or thieves that have been causing trouble in Flower Capital? Are they allies or are they enemies? Granted, however, the guy who steals from the rich and gives to the poor, he's very likely an ally and definitely not working for Orochi. But the guy who's murdering people on the streets, is that also an old ally? But is he just as immoral as Shotenmaru? Well, who knows? But Sanji, yeah, just gathering the ladies, very typical of him. But who is the guy that is watching him? And what is with this shadowy figured guy? Can't we just see them already? But yeah, just a setup chapter. Not too bad, but not too great either. But what do you think? Do you think Karibo has been spilling the beans, but everyone else has been ignoring him because they don't believe him? Or is it possible that X-Drake had kept that information to himself? Again, Karibo is a guy who's out to save himself. It would have surprised me if he didn't yap about this. So give me your thoughts, if you have any. Also, do you think that Luffy and Kito's rivalry is fun? Well, you know, as long as it works.